Have you ever wondered what makes a man keep thinking about you long after you've left the room? Is it your charm, your presence, or something else entirely? While looks can catch his attention, it's how you interact with him that truly lingers in his mind. The key to leaving a lasting impression lies in the way you speak to him and the emotional connection you create. Here's the truth. Many women believe they need to impress men by being overly available or constantly accommodating. Some try to build intimacy by oversharing their vulnerabilities right away. These approaches, while well-intentioned, often fall flat and lead to disappointment. But there's a better way, a way that allows you to captivate him without losing your sense of self. Today, we're diving into the high-value techniques that allow you to make a man miss you deeply, not through manipulation, but through authenticity, emotional intelligence, and what I like to call Dark Stoic Psychology. These methods are designed to help you create a pull so strong that he will not only miss you when you're gone, but he'll crave your presence even more. By the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap to making him think about you, remember you, and feel an undeniable desire to be around you. Let's begin with the first secret, the mystery factor. 1. The mystery factor. Keep him intrigued. Imagine meeting someone who seems perfect on paper, charming, attentive, and full of stories. But after just one or two conversations, you feel like you've heard it all. There's no mystery, no reason to wonder what he's like when he's not around. The excitement fades quickly. Now picture this. You meet someone who offers just enough to captivate you, yet holds something back, making you wonder about the layers beneath the surface. That's the power of mystery. High-value women know that being slightly elusive isn't about playing games. It's about creating depth and excitement that keeps him coming back for more. How does this work? It starts with communication. When he asks about your life, avoid revealing everything at once. Instead, offer a glimpse, a carefully chosen detail that sparks curiosity. For example, if he asks what you do for work, don't give a typical rundown. Instead, say something like, "It's a bit unconventional, but I love it. What about you?" This response does two things. It shifts the focus back to him and leaves him wondering more about you. That question mark in his mind is priceless. It keeps him coming back to you, mentally replaying your words. And remember, mystery isn't just about words, it's also about presence. How you carry yourself when you're together is key. Subtle gestures like a warm, fleeting smile, steady eye contact, or a thoughtful pause before responding add layers to your persona. When done right, mystery amplifies connection because it creates space for him to invest emotionally without feeling like you've given everything away. It's about giving him room to wonder and come back for more. 2. Emotional impact. Make every conversation unforgettable. What do you think sticks with a man long after your conversation has ended? Is it the words you said or the emotions you stirred? When you can create an emotional impact, your conversations become more than just exchanges of words. They turn into experiences that he'll replay in his mind. High-value women know how to take a conversation beyond the surface and make it memorable. They engage in emotional storytelling, asking meaningful questions that invite him to open up. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" Try asking, "What's the most exciting thing you've done recently?" Or, "If you could wake up anywhere tomorrow, where would it be?" These questions ignite his imagination and make him feel something. They create a bond that's deeper than mere surface-level interactions. When he shares his passions or goals, acknowledge his enthusiasm. This shows you're not just listening to his words, you're connecting with the emotions behind them. Sharing stories also plays a huge part. Instead of just saying, "I went hiking last weekend," you could describe the experience. "Last weekend, I hiked a trail that felt like it led into the clouds. When I reached the top, the view took my breath away. It was one of those moments where you truly feel alive." By painting a vivid picture, you're evoking emotions, not just sharing facts. And storytelling isn't only about your experiences, it's also about creating shared moments. When he shares something personal, respond in a way that deepens the emotional connection. 3. The power of first impressions. Set the tone for desire. The first few moments you meet someone hold incredible power. From the way you look to the way you speak, your initial energy can determine whether he remembers you or forgets you. High-value women know that first impressions aren't about being flashy. It's about creating an atmosphere of intrigue and warmth that lingers long after you part ways. Confidence plays a huge role here. A high-value woman enters a room with her head held high, her posture strong and her movements deliberate. Confidence is magnetic, but confidence isn't something you can fake. It's about feeling good about yourself and exuding that energy. Stoicism can help here, as it teaches you how to master your emotions and remain composed, even in unfamiliar situations. Once your presence speaks confidence, engage him emotionally. The tone of your voice plays a huge part. Use a warm, steady tone and speak at a measured pace to convey approachability and control. Body language is equally important. Make eye contact, smile genuinely, and let your movements convey warmth and attentiveness. But don't try too hard to impress. The goal isn't to overwhelm him with brilliance, but to leave him curious. Your first impression should spark intrigue, not make you seem like you're trying to prove something. 4. The push-pull dynamic, the art of absence. There's a universal truth in attraction. We crave what we can't have. Scarcity creates value, and high-value women understand this instinctively. While their presence is powerful, their absence can be just as impactful. The push-pull dynamic is about creating balance. Too much push can make you seem overbearing, while too much pull can make you seem disinterested. The sweet spot lies in the tension between the two. Absence makes his heart grow fonder and makes him crave more of your presence. In conclusion, these principles aren't about tricks or manipulation. They're about creating real emotional connections and letting him miss you because he craves your energy, your presence, and the way you make him feel. Would you like to explore more ways to make him remember you? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on high-value interactions. 5. The power of absence, cultivating space for reflection. Taking a few hours, or even waiting until the next day to respond, signals that you have a life filled with purpose and independence. It's not about manipulation, it's about being authentic. Now, let's address a common concern many women have when practicing the push-pull dynamic. What if he loses interest during the pull phase? It's a valid question. But the truth is, if a man loses interest just because you're not constantly available, then he was never truly invested in the first place. A man who values you will appreciate the balance between closeness and space. The pull phase often strengthens attraction because it gives him room to realize how much he enjoys your company. Absence also creates mystery. When you're not always in his life, he begins to wonder, what are you doing? Who are you with? What's on your mind? This curiosity keeps his thoughts focused on you, fueling a deep emotional connection. Understanding the push-pull dynamic. The key to the push-pull dynamic is re-engaging at the right time. Timing is everything. If you step back for too long, the connection might weaken, but if you return at just the right moment, you reignite the spark with even greater intensity. After a few days of absence, send him a thoughtful message that recalls something specific from your last conversation. This shows that you were truly listening and adds a personal touch that makes your re-engagement feel intentional. By embracing this approach, you maintain control over your emotions and actions. You're not chasing him, you're creating an environment where attraction thrives naturally. This is the essence of Dark Stoic Psychology, using restraint and emotional balance to draw others in. Re-engaging with depth absence creates space for longing, but re-engaging thoughtfully is where the real magic happens. This is your opportunity to deepen the connection and make him crave more of your presence. High-value women understand that reaching out isn't about filling the silence, it's about making every interaction meaningful and purposeful. Re-engaging thoughtfully taps into both his emotions and intellect, keeping you on his mind in a magnetic, unforgettable way. How do you do this? Start with timing. One common mistake women make is re-engaging too soon, before he's had a chance to miss them. Give him enough space to reflect on the last interaction, but don't wait so long that the connection fades completely. When you do reach out, avoid generic surface-level messages. Instead, reference something specific from your last conversation. For example, "I've been thinking about what you said about topic. It really made me think differently. How did you come to that conclusion?" This shows that you are actively listening and value the substance of your conversations. Creating emotional moments. Re-engaging isn't just about asking questions, it's about creating emotional moments. Share something that sparks curiosity or connection. For example, "I came across something today that reminded me of what you said about topic, and it made me laugh. Do you want to hear about it?" Or, "I keep thinking about that story you told me about specific memory. It's such a great example of his unique qualities." These kinds of messages make him feel seen and valued, creating a reason for him to keep the conversation going. Storytelling can also be a powerful tool. Instead of saying, "I went to a great restaurant last night," you might say, "I discovered this cozy little restaurant last night with the most amazing vibe. It felt like the kind of place I think you'd enjoy." Do you like finding hidden gems like that? This invites him to connect and share something about himself, while also showing that you have a full life of your own. 7. Building attraction through humor and playfulness. Humor and banter can enhance emotional attraction. Playful communication such as, "So I tried his favorite hobby interest yesterday, and let's just say it didn't go as planned. I'm sure you would have done much better at it," keeps the conversation fun and memorable. Re-engagement also reinforces the fact that you're a high-value woman with your own passions. Share something exciting or meaningful you've been working on. For example, "I've been working on this project I'm really passionate about lately. It's been keeping me busy, but it's so rewarding." This shows him that your life doesn't revolve around him. You're independent, engaged, and thriving. The power of emotional balance. As you re-engage, remember to strike the right balance. It's important to be warm and intentional, but also not to come across as overly eager. Stay grounded and confident in your own life, amplifying your presence without needing to chase or force a connection. This emotional balance is key to drawing him closer without overwhelming him. 8. The power of absence, strengthening the bond. Absence is often misunderstood in relationships. Some might see it as risky, fearing that it could make the connection fade. But high-value women know that absence isn't about disappearing. It's about creating space for reflection, desire, and appreciation to grow. Think of absence as the pause in a beautiful melody. It's in these moments of silence that your presence becomes even more precious. Absence creates a sense of scarcity, making him appreciate you even more. When you're too available, your presence is taken for granted. But when you give space, your value increases. High-value women understand that they don't need constant interaction to feel validated. They are grounded in their own pursuits and self-worth. This self-assuredness makes them magnetic. Practicing absence. Effectively, to use absence effectively, resist the urge to immediately follow up after an engaging conversation or date. Give the moment time to breathe and let him reflect on the connection you shared. Focus on living your life to the fullest. Pursue your passions, invest in your hobbies, and spend time with friends. When he sees that you are fully engaged in your own life, he'll realize that your time is precious and that being part of it is a privilege. Absence also builds curiosity. When you're not constantly in touch, he'll naturally wonder what you're doing, who you're with, and what's on your mind. This curiosity keeps him focused on you, even when you're not around. 9. Re-entering with intention. When you do decide to reach out, make it intentional. Instead of a simple, "Hey, how's it going?" send a message that reminds him of your connection. For example, "I was thinking about something you said the other day, and it's been on my mind. I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on topic." These types of messages are meaningful and deliberate, showing that you've been thinking about him and that you're truly present, even when apart. Evaluating the relationship absence also gives you space to evaluate the relationship. Ask yourself how he responds to your absence. Does he miss you? Is he indifferent? Do you feel valued when you reconnect? This period of distance allows you to assess whether the relationship aligns with your goals and values. Absence, strengthening the bond. When done right, absence strengthens the bond between you. It creates a rhythm that keeps the connection fresh and exciting. By maintaining emotional balance, engaging thoughtfully, and embracing the power of absence, you cultivate a connection that grows stronger over time. Conclusion: embracing your value. In the end, being a high-value woman is about knowing your worth and showing up authentically. Every step of this journey, from cultivating mystery, making emotional impacts, and mastering first impressions, to understanding the push-pull dynamic, thoughtful re-engagement, and using absence strategically, helps you create deeper, more meaningful connections. When you value yourself first, you radiate a magnetic self-assuredness that attracts the right people. Relationships are not about rushing. They are about creating a meaningful, enduring bond. By applying these principles in your own life, you'll build connections that last. So where will you begin? Will you add a little mystery to your interactions? Maybe you'll focus on creating emotional moments that leave a lasting impression. Whatever your starting point, remember that this is about progress, not perfection. Every step you take brings you closer to the best version of yourself and the connections you deserve.